Welcome to Overwatch 2. The game where it's totally different from the first one. Trust me, I swear. Look, Rhino has a beard now. Look, it's different. Welcome to Overwatch 2. A 5v5 multiplayer only, for now, hero shooter by Blizzard. A company with an absolutely spotless record. Just a real upstanding and wholesome studio. Now I've been playing since the first went live and have seen all the issues with the absolutely disastrous launch. Long ass queue times.
What the hell?
Infinite Bastion ult.
Perfect.
Fucking Orisa. But I'm here for gameplay. And the actual gameplay is very simple, and the same as the first, with like fucking 2 new changes. One of the new things is a new game mode called Escort. In this game mode, you get slapped in a map, which is basically one big hallway, and you have to force a completely ready and willing worker to push a barricade to the opponent's side whilst trying to stop them from pushing it to yours. Rather simple, but I think it could be one of the funnest game modes to play in the entire game. As with each fight, you can't push that much as the spawns will change depending on the robot's distance, making it a lot more back and forth compared to the other game modes in the game. Speaking of, next is payload. Now there's 2 main types of payload maps. Ones where you have to capture an objective first, then push a cart, or just push a cart. Blizzard likes to think these are 2 different game modes, but they're basically the same thing, so... Anyway, the premise is very simple. Push the cart until the end, or stop the cart. If no one is close enough to the objective, it'll start rolling back, and it moves faster the more people you have on it.
Is your birthday October, November, or December?
But just so it doesn't get boring, there are checkpoints that you reach where the cart cannot roll back further than the funny little diamond. However, a main chunk of this game mode will just be you firing at each other through one of the fucking 17 choke points on the map until either you get wiped or you wipe them. The next game mode is Kuth, or King of the Hill. Another simple one. Cap the point, keep it capped. There are some other ones like mystery heroes and community stuff, but no one cares about that. As I said before, the game modes are incredibly simple, but where the game gets complex is the characters.
But, they're called heroes.
Shut up, brainlet Brian, before I tell McCree you're a woman! Now, like every other hero shooter, this game also has roles, except there are only 3. You got tanks, damage, and supports. Now these roles are very self-explanatory, but I'll explain them anyway for educational purposes. Tanks are frontline damage sponges. In the old game you would have 2 tanks, but they decided that was too much for their engine to handle, so now we got 1. Consequently, these chunky motherfuckers have way too much health and ways to counter things. Take Orisa for example, the only character to receive almost a full rework. She has damage resist, can give herself extra HP, knock back a fucking shield, crowd control.
Huh?
How's that fair? Tanks will fall under 2 categories, those with shields to keep your team alive like Ryan and Sigma, or those who just soak up damage endlessly like Roadhog and Junker Queen. Yeah, good luck killing a tank if their supports are alive. Speaking of supports, damage heroes are the ones expected to deal with them. As the name suggests, damage heroes are supposed to deal damage and get the most eliminations and have the most variety in gameplay styles. You got flankers like Genji and Reaper, frontliners like Bastion and Soldier 76, and snipers like Widow and Hanzo. But in the end, they all have to do the same thing. Lastly are the supports, and they heal. That's it, they pretty much only heal. Sure, some of it doing better than others, and some do more damage, but pretty much the only thing they have to do is to keep their tank alive, while also avoiding attackers. Despite how important they are, no one ever wants to play them, just because it's so boring holding mouse 1 and having to cry out to your team whenever someone touches you. The main problem I have with the game is how heavily it relies on momentum. It is very hard to recover from a losing situation, as soon as one person on the team dies, that's it. You lose, they cap, or they get the next checkpoint. And in my experiences, the games are often very one-sided, with you either getting steamrolled or steamrolling them. Another big problem is how Blizzard are monetizing this game. Since this one is free to play, it's understandable that they would need to make some money somehow. How do you think they'd go about this? By locking half the roster if you're a new player, of course. And how do you unlock them, you ask? By playing as much as 150 matches. Are these people on crack? Oh, and you know those cool ass legendary skins? Yeah, fun unlocking them naturally. You get up to 60 Overwatch coins per week for completing 11 weekly challenges, and it costs 1900 Overwatch coins for one skin. You would have to complete all 11 challenges 32 times. Let's see, that's altogether that's half a fucking year these mongs want you to play to unlock one singular skin.
No, you could just buy them from the item shop. How else would they be able to pay their employees?
Bruh. Just go back to the loot box system. As much as I hated them, you can still earn them from playing naturally, and even if you just got duplicates or currency, you can still spend them on a skin you actually wanted. And even then, people would still buy them and try to gamble. Judging purely on gameplay, 8 out of 10. I personally really enjoy the gameplay loop, with each match just being different enough to be fun, and getting play of the game is just an orgasmic experience. But due to all the bugs, server problems, shitty management, the punishment of new players, and the game just being an update being sold as a totally new game, I gotta knock it down to a 5 out of 10. Mediocre, but fun if you enjoy the grind. Yeah, I know, it's another hero shooter. I'm basically reviewing whatever I enjoy playing at the moment, and a lot of games just so happen to be hero shooters. Sorry. Subscribe if you want to see new games so I can actually fund that shit. Anyway, bye.